Hello students, how are you? I'm back again. We'll be starting today with a very important question. Questions from chemical thermodynamics. Some very important questions, varieties of questions. I have taken it out and will be catering to it. So let's not waste time and start directly with the first question on thermodynamics. Okay student, let's see the question number 1, which says the species which by definition has zero standard molar enthalpy of formation at 298 Kelvin is. Now we all know that standard enthalpy value will be 0 for those elements which exist in standard state in nature, found in the nature, in that original form. Now look at this bromine. We all know bromine is found in the liquid state and not in gaseous state. So this cannot be your answer. What about chlorine? Yes, chlorine occurs in the nature in the gaseous state. What about water? In the gaseous form? No, it is in the liquid form. And secondly, it is prepared by taking hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen is found in the nature. Okay? And they are obtained by combining, and it is generally in the liquid form in nature. Similar manner, CH4. It is obtained from carbon and hydrogen, which are in the standard form. So the enthalpy will be taken 0 for chlorine gas, which is found in the nature. So your answer for this question is B. Okay, let's see question number 2 now. It says the standard enthalpy of formation of carbon dioxide, water, liquid, and glucose at 25 degree R minus 400 kilojoules per mole, minus 300 kilojoules per mole, and minus 1300 kilojoules per mole respectively. The standard enthalpy of combustion per gram of glucose. You wanted for per gram of glucose. Okay, so at 25 degree, what will be the value for it? Standard enthalpy value for 1 gram you want. Okay, so first what we'll do is we write the reaction, we write the equation for combustion. We write the equation for combustion of glucose. Now we all know glucose is C12H22O11. Now when you say combustion, it is oxidation, that means heating in excess of air, giving you 6 CO2 gas and 6 H2O liquid. Now this is your equation for combustion of 1 mole of glucose. So let us first calculate for 1 mole and then we'll go with 1 gram. Okay, so what is the formula for calculation? The enthalpy change for combustion, enthalpy change for combustion is summation of product, enthalpy of product minus summation of enthalpy of reactant, enthalpy of product and enthalpy of minus the enthalpy of reactant. So we start with product. Now these are the two products. So it is 6 into the enthalpy of carbon dioxide plus 6 into enthalpy given value for formation of H2O formation values minus summation of reactant, that is 1 into enthalpy value for glucose C12H22O11 plus 6 into enthalpy value for oxygen O2. Now let's put the values. So it will be summation of 6 into, what is CO2 given to you? Minus 400 plus 6 into, what is water given to you? Minus 300 minus, for glucose it is given minus 1300 and oxygen is in the standard state, so 6 into 0. So now just summarize the whole thing. 6 4s are 24, 6 3s are 18, so it is minus 1800, minus of minus plus 1300, so this will be now 0 0 12 minus 4200 plus 1300. So when you subtract it, you get minus 2900 kilojoules, okay, per mole of glucose. So you get it for per mole of glucose. Do remember, it is per mole. Now this is for per mole, that means 1 mole it is giving you minus 2900 kilojoules. So 1 mole is nothing else but 180 grams of glucose. 180 grams gives you 2900 kilojoules, and we want it for 1 gram. So 1 gram will give you X. Therefore, X will be minus 2900 divided by 180. This comes to minus 16.11 kilojoules is your final answer. Okay, so the final answer for this question is minus 16.11 kilojoules. Okay, now this was, I solved it and showed you, but then you can logically also think and come to the conclusion. This big question can be summarized very quickly. Now how? Question is how? Now they are asking for combustion of glucose, and do remember, combustion is exothermic. That means delta H value should be negative. Delta H value should be negative. So if you see the options, there are only 2 values which are negative, either B or C. Either B or C. Now we all know these big values will be obtained for 1 mole. The bigger value is for more moles. Now if it is for bigger moles, matlab the gram will be very high, and we want it for only 1 gram. So definitely the value will be very less. So your answer has to be C. So even without solving this, you would have easily got the answer. The answer would have been C, negative, because it's exothermic, it's given combustion. So A and D is ruled out, because positive always means endothermic, whereas combustion is always exothermic. Got it? Very good. So let's go to the next question now. Okay students, let's go to see the third question now. It says carbon solid plus oxygen gives you carbon dioxide, and the standard enthalpy for this is minus X kilojoules. And for carbon monoxide plus oxygen giving you carbon dioxide, the standard enthalpy value is minus Y kilojoules. The heat of formation of carbon monoxide will be. That's what you want to know. So let's see the solution part of it. How to go about with this? So first thing, you write the equation, your required equation. You wanted enthalpy for formation of carbon monoxide. That means you want delta H for CO2 or CO, carbon monoxide. You wanted for carbon monoxide gas. You wanted delta H formation for carbon monoxide, which is obtained by reacting with carbon plus half oxygen, giving you carbon monoxide. So this is your required equation. For this required equation, you wanted delta H, that is enthalpy of formation of carbon monoxide. Now look at these two equations. Equation number 1, I wanted carbon on my left side. Carbon is already there. So I will not touch equation number 1. Given equation number 1, let it be as it is, for which delta H value is given as minus x kilojoules. Okay, but equation 2, I wanted carbon monoxide on my right side, and here it is left, and secondly I wanted only for 1 mole. So what you do is you reverse this reaction and divide by 2 by reversing the reaction. So when I reverse the reaction and divide it by 2, this will become CO2, this will become CO, and this will become half O2. You reverse it, reverse the equation second and divide throughout by 2. Now when you reverse it, this value minus y will become plus y, and secondly you divide it by 2. So now it will become y upon 2 plus y upon 2 kilojoules. Now according to Hess law, the whole reaction, enthalpy of the reaction, that is formation, will be equal to enthalpy of first equation plus enthalpy of second equation. Enthalpy of first and second. So it is minus x plus y upon 2. So your final answer will be 2 minus 2x plus y, which can be written like this, y minus 2x upon 2. So look at the option now. In the option it is A. A is your answer for this question. Okay, let's see a new question. Question number 4. A graph is given to you. A graph of pressure versus volume. And this is the change in various state. First it changes from K to L, then L to M state, then M to N, and then N to K. So they are asking you the succeeding operation that enables this transformation of states are. What actually they wanted to know is, what will you do for this conversion from K to L, L to M, M to N, and N to K? What should you do? Should you go for heating or should you cool it? What is the process going on while this conversion is taking place? So let us understand this. First we'll talk about K to L. Now look at this graph. K to L. Look at this graph. The pressure is constant. From K to L the pressure is constant, but the volume is increasing. If you want to increase the volume, what you need to do? Definitely you need to heat it. You need to heat it because from K to L the pressure is constant. Pressure is constant and volume was increasing. volume is increasing. So you require heating. You require heating. Now, let's take the next conversion from L to M. From L to M, the volume is constant, but the pressure is decreasing. Pressure is decreasing. Pressure is decreasing and volume is constant. Now tell me, if the pressure is decreasing, that means definitely cooling is taking place. When the pressure decreases, definitely cooling takes place. So in the second case, it is cooling. Now from M to N, from M to N, what is your observation? The pressure is constant, pressure is constant, and the volume is decreasing. Volume is decreasing, pressure is constant, volume is decreasing. Imagine if this gas molecule, they start cooling down, they start coming closer. So the volume will decrease. Why? Because they lose energy. So in short, cooling taking place. So again it is cooling. From M to N, again cooling. Acha, now from N to K, the volume is increasing. Oh sorry, the volume is remaining constant and the pressure is increasing. So from N to L, the pressure is increasing and volume is constant. Volume is constant, pressure is increasing, and that occurs because of heating. That occurs because of heating. So in that case, K to L conversion requires heating, L to M it requires cooling, from M to N cooling, and N to L heating. So it is heating, cooling, cooling and heating. So let's see the option. Oh, answer is C. Very interesting question this was. Okay, so first it requires from K to L, it requires heating, from L to M, it requires cooling, from M to N, it requires cooling, and then from N to K, it requires heating. Okay, so a very interesting question. So let's go to our next question now. Now question number 5th is the same question based on question number 4th. But then here what they are asking for, the same graph, they are asking you the same conversion, but now they are asking you among the conversion which is isochoric, process, which is isochoric process. Now we all know what is isochoric process. Isochoric process are those processes which are carried out at constant volume. Constant volume. That means delta V should be 0. For isochoric process, a process which is carried out at constant volume. So look at this conversion and tell me which conversion from one state to another has a constant volume. Let's see now. Oh, here you can see this one, L to M. L to M has a constant volume. So L to M has constant volume. And this one, the next one, that is N to K. N to K conversion. These two of them have constant volume, and K to L and N to M has constant pressure. That's called isobaric process. They wanted isochoric. So your answer should be L to M and N to K. So your answer for this question is B, which is the correct answer. Okay, so simple one. Now we go for the next question. Okay student, let's see a new question. It says the value of enthalpy change and entropy change of a certain reactions are minus 400 kilojoules per mole and minus 20 kilojoules per mole per Kelvin. The temperature below which the reaction is spontaneous is. It's a very simple question. Now let's see the solution part of it. We know the formula which is given to calculate temperature at equilibrium is T is equal to delta H upon delta S. So below it, it will be below the temperature which we get, below it, it will be spontaneous. So let us see, let's put the value. Delta H is given as minus 400 kilojoules per mole, and for delta S it's given minus 20 kilojoules per mole per Kelvin. So when you cancel it, your final answer will be 20. It will be 20 Kelvin and not degree. So many times people make a mistake of writing degree. It is Kelvin here. So 20. So the option is C, which is a correct option for this question. Okay? It's very simple. So below this temperature, it will be spontaneous. Now we go for the next question. Okay, student. Let's see a very interesting question today. Right now. And that is the reversible expansion of an ideal gas under adiabatic and isothermal condition is shown in the figure. Here is the figure. Which of the following statements are correct? So you have to find out among the four which is a correct statement. Okay, it can be more than one also. So let us analyze it very nicely. Let's take the first option. Option number 1. Is T1 equal to T2? Let's see. Here is T1. Initial is T1 and here is T2 for isothermal process. We all know for isothermal process, temperature remains constant. Temperature remains constant. So whatever was T1 here and T2, they should be equal. They should be equal because it is isothermal process. So for isothermal process, temperature is constant. So option A is correct. A option is correct. So A is correct. T1 is equal to T2 is correct. Option A is correct. Now let's talk about option B. It says T3 is greater than T1. Let us analyze it. T1 is here and T3 is here. Look here, T3, adiabatic process, T3. The pressure is very less. Tell me, if the pressure is less, definitely pressure and temperature are directly proportional as long as the volume is constant. If the pressure is less, definitely it is cooling. So temperature should be less. That means T3 should be lesser than T1. But here it is given T3 is greater than T1 for adiabatic process. This is for adiabatic. This is false. So B is not correct. B is not correct. Not correct. B is wrong. What about C option? Work of isothermal is greater than work of adiabatic. Let us verify this statement. Yes, what is work? The area under the curve. If I take the area for isothermal, it will be this much. And if I take for adiabatic, it will be only this much. So whose work is more? Isothermal. Isothermal. So that means option C is correct. Option C is correct. Now, in case of option D, internal energy change of isothermal is greater than internal energy change of adiabatic, but natural. If I say work is more for isothermal, its internal energy change will also be more than adiabatic. So option D is also correct. So which are the options which are correct? A, C and D. And which is not correct is B. Interesting question? Very good. So now let's go to see the next question of thermodynamics. Okay student, let's see one more very interesting question. It says the value of log Kc. Kc stands for equilibrium condition. Remember, it's a constant at equilibrium. Log to the base 10 of Kc for a reaction A equilibrium with B is given as delta H values minus 54.07 kilojoules per mole at 298 Kelvin, and entropy change for the reaction is 10 joules per Kelvin per mole, and R value is 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole, and 2.303 into 8.314 into 298 is given as 5705, and you are supposed to find out log to the base 10 of Kc. Now how will you find out this thing? For that we already know that delta G is equal to minus 2.03 RT log to the base 10 of Kc at equilibrium. And we also know that delta G is also equal to delta H minus T delta S. Now these two equations, you must be quite familiar with it. Now since left hand side is same, right hand side also should be equal. So delta H minus T delta S should be equal to minus 2.303 RT log to the base 10 of Kc. So delta H minus T delta S divided by minus 2.303 RT should be equal to log to the base 10 of Kc. Now put the value. This is minus 754. This is minus, delta H value is minus 54.07 kilojoules, and your delta S is in joules. So convert into joules by multiplying by 10 raised to 3 minus temperature. What is the temperature given to you? 298 Kelvin. So minus 298 multiply by what is delta S value given to you? 10. Now divided by minus 2.303, R is 8.314, temperature is 298, should be equal to log to the base 10 of Kc. Now when you solve this, you get minus 57050 upon, now this value, entire value is given as 5705, so it is minus 5705 should be equal to log to the base 10 of Kc. Therefore, what should be the answer for log to the base 10 of Kc? Answer should be 10. The option given were 5, 10, 25, 100. We got the answer 10. So the correct answer is 10. Okay, student. So we end the session for today. In the next session, we'll have a new topic. We'll have a lot of good questions based on that topic, and we'll have a good discussion. Till then, remain safe, happy, and enjoy. See you all.